Morning, guys. So it is Monday after 4th of July. Hope everybody had a great 4th of July weekend and did some freedom related things. I am just getting started a little late here and I need to clean up this entire mess. So this is just some random spare parts I took off of that motor that seemed good. Water pump seemed good. Oil pump seemed good. A couple other things just seemed like they were in good shape. So I just saved them, put them on the shelf in case that one needs it. I gotta put away all the tools that I needed for this week to pull that motor. There's a lot of stuff. And then throw away this stuff, clean up this motor a little bit, and then put it in. So a lot of you guys were saying, do head gaskets, do this, do that, do timing chain. Really don't want to do all that. This motor may be blown up already because I am aware that I took it out of a non-wrecked car. There was no other option. There was no wrecked cars that had this motor, so I figured I'd just roll the dice. Hope for the best. It was an auto trans car, so maybe the automatic transmission was broken, and that's why they did it. Hope for the best. I'm gonna put it in and see what happens. I mean, it has this deal, which looks like coolant exploded on it, or maybe battery, honestly, because it's right next to the battery as well. I mean, maybe the battery had a failure. That happened. I've seen that before. Battery acid get on everything. So I'm gonna clean up this motor and put it in. I'm not gonna like plumb everything. I'm not even gonna put the accessories on. I'm just gonna put it in and start it and see kind of what happens. I'm gonna just put the fuel system on, not even do the cooling system, not even do the intake and stuff, not even really bolt everything down. Kind of just give it a test fire, see how it sounds. I got some fresh oil for it. I got a fresh filter for it, and I'm gonna cut this filter open and see what we're dealing with. So let's get to work on that. I am very slow moving right now. First off, I really need to clean up all this, so I'm gonna get to that. I've been preparing all weekend too because there's a tropical storm Elsa forming in the Gulf, or it is in the Gulf right now almost. It's like right around the Gulf. So it's gonna be kind of hitting us next like 48 hours. So I'm just kind of been prepping my yard and stuff, make sure there's nothing that's gonna blow around or, you know, rain, make sure the torts are gonna be good, that kind of thing. So anybody else super crazy about cleaning tools after a super dirty job? Like, this is what every single tool looked like. This was actually brand new when I went to the junkyard to pull that motor. This was actually brand new. First time I ever used it was at the junkyard. All right, well, I cut the oil filter open and there is no, I mean, there's some nastiness down there, but I don't see any bearing material. And if the bearings were bad, then we'd probably see a lot of metal flake. There's like, it's like dirt. That's what I think it is. It's literally like dirt. It's definitely not bearing material. It's not shiny at all. So, you know, maybe it's just some, yeah, like it's that. It's like, I don't know. No bearing material though. All right, well, no more torque converter. As far as I can tell, that's the only difference between these two. And that one has clutch dust all over it. This one's actually pretty clean. Ready to put the clutch on and have this thing go on its way. The pilot bearing's actually in the flywheel on these motors, not like an LS where you have to put it in first in the crank. This is kind of all built in. So I'm gonna put the clutch in and then drag this thing over there, drop it in. All right, clutch is on, ready to move her on over to the car, and just gotta pull this guy out. Thankfully I saved this. Well, as you can see, the motor's not in yet. Been freaking fighting with this thing. It just does not want to slide into place. So it kind of has to like in and down so that the motor mounts can like get into place, but it just does not want to. I don't know why. This is a whole nother day and just kind of can't really figure it out. Last night I kind of cut working a little short because I wanted to watch the Lightning game. Been a big bandwagon fan since they got into the Stanley Cup. Been trying to watch them beat up Canada. I don't know if anybody else has been watching hockey at all. I'm just a bandwagon fan. But just trying to get this thing in. I think I'm gonna just pull off the motor mounts, try to get it in place, because the bottom of the motor has like 2 studs. So you can't really come in on an angle, and they're really long, so you kind of have to like go in straight and then somehow drop the motor. I don't know. I've done it with a pry bar before where I can pry the motor mounts in, but doesn't want to do it this time. Motor is set in. I just need to tighten the motor mounts, tighten all the bell housing bolts, and put the throttle cable on, and then fuel system on, and this thing should be ready to do a test fire, and it needs oil. But really not too much left, and then we can do a test fire. I'm really excited to see if this thing is okay, if it doesn't rod knock, if it, I mean, it's gonna be hard to know if the head gasket is good until, you know, later down the line, but maybe I'll just put some head gasket sealant in there and send her on home. This is kind of just a temporary motor in my mind. I would like to eventually do something a lot better. This motor isn't really what I want in the end of the day, so just gonna run it like this for a while, hopefully, if this motor is semi-decent, and then eventually maybe put a like a STI swap. I'd like to someday buy like a wrecked STI and just put everything in it, as far as trans, brakes, whatever, suspension if that works, everything I can into this, axles, the whole 9. Basically make this an Outback STI, but that's a long ways out, and I definitely want to lift for that first. So I'm gonna put this all back together and hopefully fire it up here in the next maybe hour or so. Getting close. Starter's on, wiring harness plugged back in. I gotta put this coil pack onto the new motor. They wouldn't let me take the old one. They said I had to pay for it, and I wasn't doing that. I do appreciate the way that Subaru did this. 4 bolt holes and only 3 bolts. Kind of funny. Well, it's all kind of mocked up to where I could start it, but unfortunately that battery is too dead to even attempt to start it. If I had my truck over here, I could probably pull up and hook up the jumper cables on the truck, but not really a doable thing. So I guess I got to get a new battery. Tried jump box, tried trickle charger, tried everything, but I think this battery is just beyond use. The Deka 818, she gone. Maintenance free battery. I mean, I guess that's true. Haven't maintained it. New battery is in. Fresh Walmart Everstart. There's definitely going to be a vacuum leak right here. Unfortunately, there's not a whole lot I can do about that. Maybe I'll put a bolt in there real quick. That may help a little bit. Redid these 2 lines because they went through there for absolutely no reason I can tell. These fuel lines are just a vent, I believe, or maybe a return. Regardless, we'll see. We'll know pretty quick. I just haven't put those up. I'm pretty sure this is just the feed and this is the return, so not too big of a deal. Other than that, everything should be good to try to start. I got an old battery. Need to toss that thing in the ocean. So I do remember an issue we used to have with this car. It would sometimes not want to start. And I do remember that it has this Viper old school like security system in it, and it is very, very badly wired in. Like top tier, terrible. Look at the way that the fuses are. I mean, I guess that works, but shoot. Alright, well, this Viper alarm system is still stupid, but I'm also kind of stupid because I forgot to put the little starter wire on. Like, it had power, it just didn't have its trigger wire. But now it does. It doesn't have really an exhaust on yet. Well, it's running good. I only had one nut to go on the other side of the exhaust, so there's a huge exhaust leak, but it's running good. I just need to button the rest of it up, put a cooling system on it, and finish off this fuel system. we're good to go. It's even idling right, but the motor sounds healthy. That's just the exhaust gasket leaking really badly because, like I said, there's studs and I could only find 3 nuts and there's 3 studs on each side, so this side is missing almost all of them, not holding it tight. So it's idling good at like 1,000 RPM, so that's good. Just need to put the rest of this stuff on. We're good to go. This thing is freaking ready to drive. First startup, not bad. I'll take that. Solid, probably day of work to get that thing in and get it to this point where it's like, it's super close now. It doesn't have much left. The exhaust is just kind of hanging down. Jack stand's holding it up. Oh man, super awesome. I didn't even look at oil pressure. I don't even know if this thing shows oil pressure. It kind of just has like a, it doesn't really have oil pressure. I don't know what you do about that. I think you just wait until it says low oil pressure and then that's pretty much all you get. Not bad. I'm gonna come back and finish this up later, but I want to edit this video, get it up. Well, I'm not gonna finish this. The crew comes in and finishes the rest of the stuff that I didn't want to do. Of course, obviously, there's a whole group of people that show up. But that'll do it for this video, guys. The Subaru is back running, and it's just gonna take a little bit longer to finish up. It's super easy from here. The hard part is done, honestly. So, just gonna button it back up, and then I have a bunch of cosmetic stuff to do to it to get it ready for storm season, which we are in storm season right now, and I'm a little late for it, but so close. So I'm gonna head on inside, edit this video, guys, but that'll do it. Thank you for watching. Keep it saucy. I'll see you next time.